under his chin, where all that food and water is built up. Yeah, we can keep that beard up all clean, huh? Cute little teddy style. Sit. Sit. High five. Oh, such a sweet boy. Hey guys, Kylie the groomer. How you going today? I have my little toy poodle, Jude. Now, somebody in the comments of another video asked me to groom a toy poodle, and conveniently I have one right here. So we're going to do a groom on Jude today. He is, he's about 5 months old now, and he is just the sweetest little peanut ever. We absolutely love him. If I had to recommend a dog for a family, it would be a toy poodle based on their personality, but the grooming is a lot, so not for every family. I have been out of the salon for 2 whole weeks, you guys. It has been a crazy, this needs a wash, mister, a crazy 2 weeks. So currently I have the dreaded coronavirus, and I'm still recovering, so forgive me if I'm a little bit flat and I sound very nasally. I did get myself quite unwell with that. So 3 of the kids and both Dale and I all have it, except for young Abigail, our 6-year-old daughter, who is just a tornado and has just gone through not getting sick at all. She's been very lucky. But Mr. Jude here has not had a wash and barely a brush in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. It's been hectic. So today we are going to give him a full groom, but this poor boy is going to be a naughty mess. So he has like food stuck to him. He's got, I found stickers on him, on his belly. Let me have a look. He's all scruffy. So we'll just get straight into it. I'm just gonna start brushing him. He needs to be brushed before I bath him. I've got some detangling spray that we are most definitely gonna use for him today to try and make it a bit easier for him. When I talk about having noodly hair, like that, you know that your dog really needs to be brushed when their hair is noodly, this is it. This is a very good example of noodly unbrushed hair that is on the verge of matting and is not good at all. And while I do feel extremely guilty, I do mention in my videos quite a lot that life happens. It happens to all of us at one time or another, and we struggle to keep up with our dog's grooming needs. And well, this was my life happens moment. So my poor boy is a floofy-noofy mess. Being a puppy, he is, I mean, I do a lot of grooming with him, so he's pretty good. He knows he's got to be groomed, but he's still a feisty little pupper. He does not like having knots and tangles brushed out. So I'm just using my slicker. It has very large, long bristles. It is very good for detangling these longer coats. Absolutely recommend having something like this if you've got a longer coated doggy. Come here, mister, we've got to get this done. Yeah, so I've already run his bath. Oh, look at this. It is so gross under here. He's got all this grubby. His face is grubby, his beard's grubby. It's just a mess. This is not good. So personally, I've spent about a week in bed, probably 6 days, just in bed. And Jude has been such a sweet little boy, looking after me, hanging out with me, making sure we're all okay. And I did try and give him a brush a couple of times in that time, but obviously not enough. Come here, sit, sit, good boy, good boy. Yeah, I know. Come on, let's get this done. So it's going to be a fair bit of pulling for him, but hopefully he just kind of tolerates it. So he's doing a little bit of biting and nipping, which is pretty normal for a puppy getting brushed anyway. So we're just going to power on and ignore it and get him all brushed out. Yeah, that's what we're going to do, mister. So I don't know if you know this about poodles, but they have, you know, they're marketed as these dogs that don't shed with their beautiful little wool coats. Typically they do not shed, however they do have a coat change at approximately 8 to 14 months of age. when all of their puppy hairs come out and their adult coat starts to come through, and it's sort of over time that happens. And their coats generally end up an absolute matted mess at that time. So considering he is a dog that doesn't shed, this is his puppy hair and other fluff. Ooh, I'm dropping it, and bits and pieces that are all coming out, but definitely some puppy hair starting to move from his coat. If you don't brush that out of your puppy, it is a big matted mess, and the only way to fix it is to shave the dog right back and then help that adult coat to grow through again. So definitely very important to have very regular brushing in that first year. 2 to 3 times a week for sure is best to keep them comfortable and really train them into their brushing and grooming needs. And if you don't do that, you're going to end up with a puppy that's just going to be shaved. So especially if you want to have these long coats, the more brushing the better. Hey, excuse me, sir. No, I'm not going to do that. So I've run his bath already. I'm just using some de-shedding shampoo, which sounds funny for a non-shedding dog, but I just want to help get all those hairs loosened up and separated, just to help, you know, with once he's dry, we'll have to brush him again and there'll be lots of knots and tangles. So we're gonna try and manage that by using a shampoo that will help keep the hairs all separated. You're gonna let me brush this leg? Not very helpful. No. Up. Yeah, you go brush your tums. Oh, I know. Stop that. Stop. Hey. Put some detangler under there for you. Yeah, we got to do it. Come on. Let's get it done. Jude. Come on, calm down. Good boy. So the goal is just to brush out as much knotting as we can before we bath him. That's just going to make everything easier. So it's a bit bigger than the last time I did a video with him. I have been recording some of his grooms to show, you know, the progression of having a puppy and teaching them how to behave and be groomed. Hey, stop that. Stop. So the front legs and the back legs, just the legs in general, seem to be bit of a sore point for Jude, but he's doing pretty good. He's good with his back and his head being brushed usually. And the inside of the legs seem to be far more sensitive than anywhere else. He's usually generally pretty good about his head, but it is quite noodly, so probably a few little tangles there. But you can see he's detangling quite well and fluffing up very nicely, which is fabulous. It's not as bad as I might have thought it would be. Oh, I'm getting hot though. I'm just going to turn this air conditioner on, sorry. Boop. Get some air in here. I turned it off because it was quite loud and I was on the phone earlier, just before we started. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. So his eyes are quite gunky. That's my bad. I'm just swapping over to this fine tooth comb while I do his face. I don't need to get any big bristles in his eyes or anything like that. So I'm also going to use a washcloth in the bath to really soak his eyes, and I've got a very fine tooth comb as well that I'll use just to really clean up all that hair. You're so fluffy. You're so fluffy. Yes, you are. I know, it pulls a little bit, huh? Stop that. Stop that. Good boy. So he's got all this build up here in his beard. It's quite tangly. I'm not going to worry too much about that because a lot of that will come out in the bath once the hair's cleaned, but you can see all that grossness in there. Terrible owner I am. Hey, it's a bit mean, isn't it, mamas? Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. So I'm just going to hold his leg. He'll put up a fight, but it's got to be brushed. His hair is very long on his legs because we've kept him with his long fluffy legs and just kind of shaped them. I haven't shaved them down or anything. Mister, gotta be careful. Stop that. So just try and brush as much as we can. I know. and being as gentle as I can, but also we do just need to get it done as well. Hey, 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 you gonna be a good boy for me? You gonna be a good boy for me? Oh, I am sweating. Yes. Hey, let me do it. Papa, come on. No, no, no. Stop that. Stop. So, there's a lot of tangles in his legs, obviously because he uses them a lot. And they're all dirty and grubby, but we do have to get on with it. So we're just going to be gentle, but just ignore some of this. No, no, no. Jude. Oh, mister, stop that, please. Come on, that's enough. Head out the way, come on. Good boy, come on. You get brushed. Definitely overdue for a trim. I've been putting off giving him an actual haircut for about a month to see how long we could get him. But this is definitely a lot to manage, this long coat. So again, he's got a lot of grubbiness in his legs, so I'm not going to brush them out completely, but just as much as I can without really upsetting him. Come on, come on. Good boy. Stop that, stop. Come on. Good boy. You do have to have your legs brushed. That's enough. You're being silly. Hey, hey, sit down. Sit. Sit. Good boy. A high five? Thank you. You a good boy? Yes, you are. Alright, my friends, we are going to take him over to the bath. Let me just have a look at those inside legs. Real quick through here. Yeah, they're naughty. They're naughty. We're just going to wash and hope for the best. Alright, I'll take him over to the bath and we'll see you in a sec. Alrighty, our little man is in the bath. In the bath. In the bath you go. Get my hose sorted out. I'm just going to run that for a minute, let the temperature sort itself out. Enough bubbles going. Is it nice and warm? Pretty good. So we do want to give him a very good clean and make sure we get into all those spots that have been particularly grubby. Right under his neck, his chest area, little feet of course. Little booty. Beautiful ears. Yeah, could get this one done too. Of course, we want to get this gorgeous face nice and clean. Give that a good soak under his chin, where all that food and water is built up. And yeah, we can give that beard a good clean, huh? Alright, mister? Good boy. So you can see that he's quite used to having his bath. He's fairly well behaved for this process. And he's not really scared of it. What are you doing? What's going on in your mouth? I don't know what that's about. Can I have a look? mister, what's going on? He's got some bleeding in his mouth. Might be some puppy teeth coming away. Oh, mister. Yeah, look at that. That's a puppy tooth coming out. Oh, it's really bothering him. I don't think I've ever seen that. My camera's not waterproof, but I just really want to show you guys that. Oh, honeykins. Let me see. It's got a puppy tooth right in the back there coming away. I've never seen that before. A tooth coming out. I actually don't know what to do. Whether I just leave it, let him get it out. Can I help? Oh, it's all loose and floppy. Oh, mister. I don't know what to do. I might just, don't swallow it when it comes out. That's a big tooth. Oh. So maybe stop chewing on it. Can I help? Let me see. Yeah, let me have a look. Oh, it's nearly out. Oh, it's very wobbly, isn't it? And stop pulling on it. He's like a kid. Pulling on it. Okay, I think what we'll do is carry on and give him his bath and just keep an eye on that, and I'm sure at some point it's going to come out. It's definitely bothering him, the poor little love. Do you want me to help? I can help you. I don't know what to do though, but I'm happy to help. Come here. Let Mama see. It's not... Yeah, I know. Just wait, just wait, just wait. Come here. Look. I've never seen that before. They just kind of come out on their own and away they go. You don't even ever see it. I've seen a couple of his puppy teeth come out, but I haven't managed to catch them. They've disappeared, but that's a big tooth coming. And conveniently right when I give you a wash. You got it? Okay, well we know it's a tooth and we know he's a puppy, so he's going to lose his puppy teeth. So I'm not going to panic about it. I'm just going to keep washing him and see if he gets it out on his own. I mean, obviously it's kind of distressing to see him, but as well as that, it's kind of normal, so. I'm just going to check the other side because he's grabbing at that side too. No, that side's all good. So it's just this side where that loose tooth is. What a bizarre thing to happen in the middle of a groom. All right, you chew on that tooth, boy. So I'm just going to flip over to a rinse. We'll give him a rinse because I don't want him getting so cold standing here. And it's not like an emergency or anything like that, so we'll carry on. So I've just flicked back to shampoo. How bizarre. I bet he swallows it when it comes out, so I won't even get to show it to you. Sorry, little man. That must be driving you mad. Is it driving you mad? Poor little lovey. Alright, so I'm just going to use like a really hypersensitive shampoo on his face, just to give him like an extra really deep clean, but without hurting his little eyes. And of course, right where his sore bloody tooth is, sorry mate, Try and get in here. I'll try not to bother you too much, my darling. Give all of this a really good clean so that it fluffs up really nicely. After his bath, oh my love, I'm so sorry. I can hear it grinding, I can feel it. It must be so uncomfortable for him. But also, you know how kids sit there and wiggle and wiggle and wiggle and wiggle and they don't leave it alone? That's what he's doing. So I've just got this tiny little, very fine sort of flea comb. I'm just going to use that to brush out these eyes where I've let him get his tear stains. Okay. There we go. That's all it was. That's it. So not ideal, but definitely not the worst thing I've ever seen. And now we're going to give him a rinse off. Eye boogie that's come away from there. Alright. How's that tooth coming along, huh? Still chomping on it. Got a small amount of conditioner here. Just the Petway Everyday Pink Conditioner. Just going to do his tail and down his back. And then his floofy little ears. I don't want him too heavily conditioned because I want all of his hair to stand up and be very, very sleepy, so I don't want to weigh it down. Just gonna let the plug out. Yeah, how's that tooth going? Still bothering ya? Definitely needs his nails trimmed today. This little boot, a very quick turn. Okay. So I'm going to just get his towel ready on the table behind me. You okay, sir? Hey? You alright, my little bubble butt? We'll get you all dry and warm, alright? Bring our little camera over here. Yeah, catch ourselves a doggy. Oh, mister. Here you go. Alright, so I've got the air conditioner on behind me, which is super cold because I'm really hot. So just being mindful of that. I'm going to keep him wrapped up and give him a really good towel dry. And we'll have a look at that tooth again. He's never really had the opportunity to go and run in the grass or do zoomies or anything after a bath, so he's pretty chill about this. He's always been bathed in here, never anywhere else. I just want to say, with regards to the whole COVID thing, I am in isolation. This salon is it's not in my house, but it's on my property at home, and I haven't left my house, so still okay there. I just can't have anybody here, which means I haven't been able to work for 2 weeks, which is probably a good thing, because my goodness, I've been mighty unwell. Yes, I have. I'm gonna do some floofies. Okay, so drying Jude it takes a long time to dry all of this hair, and I do want him to be as dry as possible, with no moisture in his coat. Okay. You're very excited. You want me to have a look at that tooth now? Which side was it? This side? Stop. Okay, sit. Thank you. Let Mum have a look. Come on. Let Mum have a look. Good boy. I know it's not comfortable. It's this side, isn't it, over here? You know there's all hair in the way. Hey. I can't see. No, I can't. Let me see. There we go. It's still in there. It didn't come out yet. Hey, it's hanging on. It is. Alright, so I will just go ahead and start drying him, but we will speed this process up. I'll include it in the video because lots of people like to see it. He's still a baby, so he's a little bit nervous with the blow dryer, but he does pretty good. He settles into it reasonably well. You might see him going for a cuddle or support, and I'm happy to give that to him. Okay, buddy. Pop this over this side because that's more comfortable for me. You ready to get dried? Daddy, my puppy tooth is falling out.
Oh, really?
Big one at the back.
Big one at the back?
Yeah, interesting video in the bath. Thank you. Oh my goodness, iced coffee.
Yeah.
So,
Look at you, so
we're falling away.
fluffy.
Don't mess his hair up.
Sorry. Just
Don't touch
him.
the hair.
I just love him to bits, that's all. He loves me.
Oh, let me pop this in the fridge. We'll be back in a sec. Okie dokie. Sorry. All done.
Just another fact, like the coins you kept or the bags you finally packed. They'll only fade away as we roll across those tracks. Tonight you meet a girl with a song written in her eyes. Showed you how to lose the old disguise. Even now I can't explain the reasons why. Her memory still mingles with the pain as the windows on this car fill up with rain. Storm clouds fly tattered, tattered and swift. The lazy haze of winter now left. Don't you call me now, it's too bittersweet again. For now, so city follows city once again. You meet a girl and then you meet her friends. Water fills the streets and the day comes to an end. And I'm writing her a letter, short and plain. Come, be my love in the rain. Darkness falling thick and heavy with heat. And as the line storm now goes moaning in retreat, her memory still mingles with the pain. But come, be my love in the rain.
Rightio. Look at you, you big fluffy hamster. So if you are grooming your own dogs at home, and you're watching this video for a few tips to groom your doggy at home, and you've got your own clippers or scissors or any other bits and pieces, and if you're going to do any sort of cutting of the hair, your dog needs to be, the hair has to be clean, very, very clean, and very, very dry. Because you will not get a good cut otherwise. There's no other way, ifs, buts, or maybes about it. You will not, you'll have those patchy, chunky cuts where the hair's all still at different lengths. And no matter how many times you go over it, it will not be a good finish. So you need to wash and dry and brush the whole doggy before you do anything else. So in a lot of salons, they've got a bather, and the bather does everything I've just done now, and then the groomer does the styling and trimming of everything. So it is definitely a bloody long process. Some people will like wash, if they're doing it at home with their own dog, they'll do like washing and drying and brushing on one day, and then the next day they'll just do a quick brush and then go in and do the trimming or clipping or cutting. I just do it all at once because I like a good clean coat to work with. Now, if you don't already know, the reason why I purchased Mr. Jude and he joined our family is as a training dog for myself, mostly, so that I can learn, because working with purebreds in particular, poodles and dogs with this kind of coat is not in my skill set. It's not my strong point, because I just don't get a lot of them to work with, to be honest. If I do, they are cavoodles, Cavalier cross poodle, and while they pretty much look like a poodle, they're not exactly a poodle, and I don't ever get to do any sort of poodle trims on them because the owners want them to not look like a poodle, which is very hard to do. Whereas with Jude, I would love for him to look like a poodle. So we have in the past couple of months, he's had a clean face and feet, which is where it's all shaved back. And I am very fond of that look. I didn't think I would be. It was one of the looks where I was like, I don't think we're going to do that to him. But when I had to do it as a part of, you know, training him to have the clippers around his face and things like that. I absolutely love the look, but my husband and the kids don't. So we've been growing him out for the last maybe 8 weeks, 6 weeks. So he's gone from a clean face to as fluffy as he is now in that short time. He's grown out very nicely. So we're growing him out more to have that sort of teddy bear look. So his face today, I won't do a lot. It'll just be kind of, you know, a little bit of shaping, make sure he can see and that sort of stuff while it continues to grow out. Good boy. Stop. Hey, stop that. Stop that, you big floof. So we don't want any knots and tangles. We want all the hair to sit really nicely, all separated, absolutely no noodles, which is what's happening in these legs that he won't let me brush out right now. Fortunately, he was nowhere near as knotty as I thought he would be. Stop that. Stop. Okay, I don't want to fight you. I want to get your grooming done. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Emma. Good boy, good boy. So we know it's good when we can run our comb through and there's no snags, which there's still a few. So we've still got brushing to do. As gorgeous as this long fluffy coat is, I'm not keeping him this long. It is a lot to maintain. A lot of brushing, very long hair. So we will keep his legs long. We love his cute little long teddy bear legs, but certainly shape those up a bit. But we're going to take down this body a lot shorter and just reduce some of the brush time so that we've got some nice easy maintenance at home. I should add that while I did buy him for a training dog, he is a huge part of our family. Stop that. A very, very much loved little critter. Sorry, mate, that's a big tangle there. Just just working through some little knots in his back leg here. Well, he does get a little bit cranky with me. You can see he's really settled down. Feeling a bit more himself after having a bath, aren't you? Yeah. Just gonna grab my chair so that I can hack away at these front legs. Lower this down a little bit. Ooh. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we've got to get it done. You can't keep them all. You can't keep all those knots. No, they're not for you. So just kind of brush out as much as I can and then just go in with the comb and try and finish everything off. They're always so feisty about these legs, honestly. Stop. No. Come on. Let Mama do the brushing. Stop being silly. There's no point dancing around the problem. Stop. The sooner it's done, the sooner you can move on. Yes. Good boy. That's a pretty good leg. Now this one. Good boy. No, just put that down. Thank you. No, put it down. Come on, let me get it brushed. You're so fluffy, I can't tell what I'm grabbing. Hey, oi. Jude. Jude. Hey. Judy Poos. You a good boy for Mum? You a good boy? Alright, alright. So he's looking pretty good. We'll do his head and face now. Make sure those ears are free from tangles. So you can see where I can't quite get the blow dryer in as much as I would like. He's still quite curly. That hair has not been straightened out. Because it's stayed wet longer and it's dried with the curl pattern in rather than straight. But the curl pattern itself, like give it tomorrow, it'll all be back all over again. So we're just straightening everything out for the actual grooming process so that this hair is as straight as it can be for cutting. And of course it does make them look absolutely amazing, but they'll be curly little monsters again within a day or two. So if you don't like the straight head look and you love all those curls, don't stress, they will be back. It's just what we got to do all this grooming. So having a look at this, that is some long hair that he's got here. Yes, you got very long. That's what happens when you push out their grooming for several weeks. So I'm just a little bit undecided on what we're going to do. He's definitely got more adult coat coming through because it's sitting so beautifully. It's been quite flat up until this point, so really nice to see it sitting so nicely. Yes, yes. And yeah, as I said, I am learning when it comes to grooming a toy poodle or poodle. Definitely learning. So we're just going to go ahead and do some stuff and hope for the best. So I'm going to get my clippers ready and we'll be back in a sec. Right, so we have our very fluffy little man here. I'm undecided, but I'm going to start with a longer clip and we'll see if I'm happy with it. So I'm going to use a 16 on his body, I reckon. So 16 millimeters, which is 5/8 inch, or my number 5, which doesn't want to go on. All these extra little bits over here. And so we're not actually taking that much off the body as such. What I will do is make sure that you guys can see what's going down. Lifting this up a little bit. Tilt that back a touch. There we go. Alright. So I'm just going to start at the back. Come here, you know the clippers. We've done this before. Yeah, you know this one. Thank you, my darling. So I'm not going to start too high up on his neck because I want to leave some room for blending. This is probably his second time having the clippers on him, so definitely a big deal for him. So we do want to be mindful. He is a pup, a very wriggly pup. Oh my goodness, look at all that hair going. And I am going to leave myself plenty of room to shape it all up with scissors around his legs. So it's mostly just his body that we're taking all this hair off. Excuse me, don't put your face in there. Yes, I know, it's all very new. So we're really just tidying up this whole body and shortening all that off. So I like this style because it is very clean, easy to maintain, and you still get those long legs and big heads to help maintain that sort of real teddy bear style that everybody loves. He is doing an absolutely amazing job. So the last time I did this, I think I took too much off around his shoulders. I didn't really leave myself any room for scissoring, and same with the hips on the back. So I kind of got a pretty flat shape. So today I don't want to do that. Hold still. But I also don't want to leave myself too much work with the scissors. Leave the hairs. Leave the hairs, I know. So, I mean, we haven't taken that much off, but it's still a lot. But don't eat the hairs, please. Turn around. So now we're just going to come and do the same thing on this side. Hopefully Jude agrees. And because we've done so much prep work on that coat already, it is gliding through nice and easy. We can see where we're going and what we need to do, and it is a much easier process than if we were trying to work on a dirty, knotted, tangled, matted coat. And as you can see, my boy is just being an amazing little boy. Gotcha. I would really love to do like a tapered leg, but I haven't quite mastered that yet. Not quite. And of course, getting things even is also very difficult. So, just going to look at him as front on as possible and go down here a little bit more. So he's kind of wearing a jacket at the moment and some pants back there. Now, sit. You gonna sit down for me? So all this, we want to take it back quite nice and short. And that will blend into the legs. We do have some ear floof here we don't want. There we go. And we do want his chest to be nice and short with that body. But we want to leave as much here as we can to kind of scissor and blend into each other. And of course, being a very small breed of dog, it is hard to get into all the right places. But now we can see that chest taking shape. There we go. Beautiful. Hey, it's my beautiful boy. So I am just going to blow dry him again and fluff all that hair up so that we can go over it again. So you can see where when you do that, you fluff it all up again for the second cut. You can see where those hairs just aren't quite sitting at the same level, and you can pick them all up and tidy everything up from there. Come around, good boy. So that's looking pretty good. Now we're going to come back here. So I'm going to pick up from his ears down a little bit, just so that I'm giving myself the sort of level that I want to work with when I'm scissoring in. Pick this ear up here. Leave that. Come on. You're gonna let me get in there? Hey, come here. No. Oh, Jude. Let Mama do her job, please. Up. So I'm gonna come down his chest here. Good boy. Picking up everything on the underside. Now, we don't want to get the comb down through these little fluffy bits here, because it will pull the skin into the clipper and of course be detrimental. And then we're going to go, you're okay. In reverse here, just to give that sanitary area just a little bit shorter to keep it nice and clean. And that's that part done. Then we're going to come around to his little booty. And I'm going to swap sides with you because I can only work in one direction for butts. Come here, big butt. So I'm just going to hold his tail up on one side and take down just those hairs there. And then on this side, he is an entire little man. Not that that means a lot at this stage, but we do need to be super careful of his little boy bits. That's it for that. That'll be sort of scissored in. That's just going to give him his round little butt. Okay. Let's swap this. That one's still a little bit damp, so just put that out of the way. Use this dry one. So he does grow quite impatient with the scissoring, which is completely understandable. Excuse me while I just lean over here, grab a bunch of scissors. Very understandable. He's only young, so it is a long time to be at the table for such a young little man. But I am just going to flute up all of his good floofs and try and get some shape in here. I need to find the angle that's right for me and him. All right, mister. So the aim for me is to maintain those super fluffy legs, but blending it into the short body. And giving it some shape while we're at it. I know. And just avoid putting in any big lines and angles. Stand up. Turn around, mister. We must keep going. So see how we're sort of starting to get that angle in this way. I'm just going to use some curves. Right. Very distracting. Sorry, the phone keeps ringing. Come here. Good boy. Had to go inside because the call was for my daughter. So, back to what I was doing. So you'll see a lot of like highly skilled groomers who do a lot of scissor work, who can just kind of get right in and get this done really beautifully. Using just sort of straights and go straight in and confidently make the right sort of cut. I've not quite got that skill yet, and the shape, I'm just kind of winging it and hoping for the best. So I have not mastered the skill of looking at the dog and seeing the whole shape. Definitely working on that. And Jude is definitely still working on getting rid of that tooth. But basically, the general idea is to fluff up the hair and trim it down, taking away the bits you don't need. So these scissors are chunkers, and they take out more than these do. These are thinners. So the thinners is sort of like a finishing scissor, only takes a very small amount of hair, but because I'm a little bit unconfident in achieving the shape, I am using them to kind of be able to make a little bit of a mistake here and there, and it's not going to be a big deal. Then once I'm sort of happy with that shape, I can come in and try and get rid of any lines with these guys. Oh, there it goes. You got it. Here we go. Puppy tooth. Live on camera. I can't believe that. Oh, I got a little puppy tooth now. Hey, that's so cute. You did it, Jude. Look. Don't eat it. All right, we'll have to put that aside. A little bit special, hey? Feel better? You feel better getting rid of that? I bet you do. Okay, so now I'm going to brush this part down, and previously he's been very, very wriggly, and I have not really been able to get into the front here. But he's standing quite well today, so I can actually take down quite a bit of this length, which was a bit too much. You feel better, matey moo? Huh? Feel better? Tell you what, I'm gonna sleep well tonight. So I've come out into the salon today and just done a general clean of everything, which I don't get time to do all that often, like we pull everything out and sort of clean. So I've done a little bit of that. I've re-washed all of my towels, cleaned all of my surfaces so that everything's kind of COVID free. And that was a little bit exhausting. Okay, wriggly potato. I don't know if we're going to finish this. Oops, sorry, bumping the camera. Hey, we're only on one leg. Let go. Yeah, stop that. I'm just going to quickly trim the nails so that it's not interfering with the shape of his foot. Leave that alone. When Dad plays with him, he grabs his legs and gets him all riled up, so he'll be a little bit confused as to why I'm grabbing his legs. What are you doing? It is not playtime. No, it is not playtime. Okay, so now we can just kind of brush all that. Excuse me, you can lick your booty hole later. Excuse me. You see what I've got to deal with? Mister. Do you know what would be great if you stood up for me and let me do this? Yes. Okay. Stop. So, I'm just going to brush this inside leg out. Stop. Stop. Come on. Stop. And without catching his tail, mister, just want to hold the leg back and tidy this up. Don't, come on. Now we can take some of this. So this hair is still kind of growing out so that I can get some nice little bracelets here for him and some nice shape. Definitely still working on that. Hold still, you little rascal. So it's a lot of stuffing around, but really all I've done is just kind of got the shape that I want started so I can see where I'm going with it. And then I can go through and kind of tidy everything up. Pick up all those extra loose hairs, anything that's sticking out, and kind of refine everything so it sits better. Which is, with experience, something people can see really clearly. But as you can see, I don't quite have that level of experience just yet. So it does take me a minute to find my shapes. Spin him around and have a little look. Certainly getting a lot better, and I'm going to leave it at that for that leg because we've got a lot of legs to go and he's going to grow very tired of it very quickly. Archie, my buddy boy. His tail is not an overly impressive tail at this stage either. It is still puppy hair. And as I was saying, his feet were clean shaven before, so they have not yet grown out to be something we can do a lot with just yet. So as much as I don't like them, I'm going to leave them to continue growing out. So that, stop that, let go. No, 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 no. So that we can do a bit more with them once they're looking a little bit better. Just kind of tidy up where there's a bit of a line here. And over the top of that tail. I don't generally post these videos because, you know, it really highlights a lack of skill, but I'm happy to admit that this is not in the realm of your general pet grooming. This is moving more into definitely style cuts, which is not what I necessarily do every day. It's definitely not what I do every day. But now that I have an idea of the shape that I want and how much hair I need to take off to achieve that, this will all move a little bit quicker now. Stop. Grooming is very much an art, and it's all you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and you can interpret things and try different techniques and all that sort of stuff, which is why I wanted a dog that had a canvas that renewed itself very frequently, so that if you stuff up, you can just try again. Stop. But as you can see, given that this is only like his second, maybe third time having this much work done, his frequent grooming has really paid off in how he behaves. Because he is a very well behaved little man. So a lot of the times puppies have not even had their first groom at this stage of life. And that's where you get those big wrigglers that you see in my other videos. Does a lot of work. Get all these knots out. Buddy, your hair was long. Yeah, you grew that bloody long. Steady, mister. Good boy. You're very wiggly. No. Come on, out the way. Stop that. You gonna let me do my job? Or we're gonna be poo-poo? Oh my goodness, mister, if you just let me have this foot. Nope. No, no. Stop that. Come on, stop that. Oh, you're a little pain in the butt, you are. Stand up. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Good boy. Good boy. Oh my. Okay, so this is where that sort of taper that I'm hoping for comes in. No. And this is why you leave so much on the top, so that you can blend it in quite nicely. Admittedly, I'm much better on the front legs than the back at the moment. So now I'm just going to brush this out. Come here. Good boy. Sorry, mate. Oh, Judas. Come here. Come here. Did your tooth fall out? You know when you go inside, everybody's going to be all over you. Oh, yes, they are. I'll be so happy to see you. Stand up. Come on. Stand up. Stand up, sir. Stand up. Good boy. Come on. Stop that. Stop, stop, stop. Come on. Up. No yoga. So do you need to clean the foot up still, the paw pad? We'll just tidy everything up a little bit more. That's pretty much what I was hoping for, shape-wise. Up. So I need to just tidy that in a little bit more. That's pretty good. Excuse me. Come on, out the way. No. So he's just standing a bit nicer for me here, so I'm just going to tidy up while he is. I have never trimmed his tail either, that is just his natural tail length. Let's have a look, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get a drink. Let Jude get a drink and we'll be back. Rightio. How are we doing, mister? pretty good. All right, I do apologise again. This is not an overly exciting video with me being unwell and not full of beans. And while we had a quick break, I was just looking at our YouTube subscribers, and very exciting, 3,655. So that's huge. Thank you so much to everyone who has hit that subscribe button. We are really trying to get ourselves up to 4,000, and you guys have just been amazing at helping with that. So every time you hit that thumbs up button or share a video or leave us a comment, you're helping us, and we really appreciate that. Let's bring the camera on the other side. What else is news? Oh, okay, so I just wanted to say, like, I didn't brush Jude for pretty well 2 weeks. I gave him like a really half-assed kind of quick brush because I felt like a terrible pet owner to not have brushed him in between, but it really wasn't a proper brush, and it was in bed while I was sobbing about being so sick. So when I've mentioned in other videos, like, you know, and this is a question that I had, somebody asked me, I'll go back, hang on back, I'm a bit brain fuzzy. You know, I've said in other videos, like, don't tell your groomer that the dog went outside and the wind blowed and they suddenly became really matted because, you know, or it went for a swim and got matted, or we went to the farm and suddenly got matted. I've been brushing constantly. Like, we do know if you haven't been brushing your dog, mostly because we all own dogs. We know what happens and how long it takes to get into those sort of states. And one of the comments was, like, what do you say to the groomer? Just be honest. You know, it is our job. We are there to help. I know myself, I much prefer it if somebody just calls me and says, hey, like, my dog's super matted, I've stuffed up, I haven't given them the brushing that they need, and, you know, we're just in a real bit of a mess and really need some help, you know? Like, I mean, there's always going to be some judging. Myself am not overly judgmental, but some groomers are, you know. But at the end of the day, if you come forward honest and just say, hey, I've stuffed up, this is my predicament, we'll help you. But if you say, like, oh, you know, I've been brushing every day, nothing I do helps, or whatever, we can really see through that, and you kind of just make yourself look like a bit of a goose, more than you would have if you just said, yeah, look, I haven't brushed him for 4, 5, 6 weeks or whatever. But also, when you do that, you say, the kind of groom that I need is one that will suit me not brushing my dog. So when you do the haircut, can we go nice and short? Because I'm really busy at the moment, and I just haven't had the time to brush, you know? Like, those are the sort of things that you can do to help your situation as well. So when you say, no, I brush the dog, you know, 7 times a week, we think, oh, cool, we can do this long fluffy haircut and everything's going to be fine. But reality is that you don't actually brush the dog, and then the next time that we see them, they're a big matted mess again. So, you know, just work with your groomers, be honest. It's embarrassing, but it's not the first matted dog that we've seen. It's certainly not going to be the last matted dog that we'll see. And it just is a much better relationship with your groomer if you're all on the same page. Like, it makes me feel uncomfortable to say to somebody, listen, like, I can see where you're coming from, but I know that you're not brushing the dog. Do you want to do a short haircut instead? You know, like, that's an uncomfortable position for me to be in, whereas if you come forwards and bring your dog in and say, look, I'm really struggling with the maintenance at the moment, you know, we're starting a new business, or we're settling the kids into school, or, you know, whatever it is. All sorts of things happen that make it difficult to keep up with brushing, myself included. And just get a short haircut. It all grows back. Like, Jude here is an example of that, because he's had so many haircuts at 5 months of age, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and every time I put a little bit of shape in there that I don't like, or I want to change something, just let it grow a little bit longer and go back to it again. His face was a clean shave only like a month ago, and now we're already at the point where his little teddy face is starting to grow in. So just, yeah, the point is just be honest with your groomers and work with them. Let them help you. And we can only help you if you make that possible for us to do, which is being on the same page, in the same book, and looking at the same dog. So definitely don't don't give us any funny stories. They are quite funny. I don't personally, you know, like there are groups and stuff out there where groomers can have a bit of an event. I don't personally do that, but I do get quite a laugh out of some of the other stories that we see. They're quite funny, which makes me feel terrible in saying that, but a little bit of entertainment value in it. But honestly, and my clients don't even bother with any rubbish stories, because I guess I make them feel confident and comfortable to come forwards as well and be honest with me. Like, I'm not judging anybody. Oh my goodness, I'm exhausted though. Yeah, and if you're not comfortable to talk to your groomer, maybe you've not got the right groomer. Like, not saying anything against other groomers, but if your groomer makes you feel really intimidated, and I've had that before. I rescued a miniature poodle. This is going back many, many years, okay? So, first of all, I was really broke and I couldn't afford a groomer on a regular basis. But I saw a post on Facebook and somebody was just like, oh, I don't want my dog anymore. Like, many years ago, because you can't even do that on Facebook anymore. I don't want this dog. Had enough of it. Whatever. So I just messaged them and said, oh, I'll come and get the dog, because I was just kind of afraid that they would dump the dog somewhere. You know, we live in the country. You can pretty much dump a dog anywhere and nobody would ever see it again. And I was kind of just worried about that. And I went and picked him up and he was absolutely matted from top to tail. And this is before I was a groomer. And I thought, oh, no worries, we'll just use like our home haircut kind of clippers that the boys, you know, my husband uses on his head. No worries, we'll get all this hair off. And very quickly I realized that that was not actually possible. You can't do that you can't groom a matted dog with those kinds of clippers. It does not work. And I had to find a groomer for the first time in my life. Like, that's something I've never had to do before as a young adult. I suddenly thought, oh shoot, okay. Oh, mister, come on. Don't be silly now. Yeah, you know, that's a whole other world that I've never been a part of, trying to find a dog groomer. And I found somebody who's still local to me in this area and still grooming actually at the moment. And I sort of told them the story of, like, this is where it's quite funny, you know, like, I actually just got this dog and he is a matted mess and I really need help, because he was in pain. Like, when I say matted, I mean his hair was matted so tight that it had twisted and the skin was bruised around the mats, right? And so, fair enough, when the groomer saw this dog, she was angry, and I understand that perspective. And she didn't believe my story, and I can understand that perspective. But she was also just really quite awful to me as a person. Like, I just felt so horrible, you know, like, she gave it to me. She let rip on what she thought of me and how I'd let that dog be in that condition. And, you know, I knew better at the time, so I just kind of took the criticism and rolled with it. Didn't take it too personally, but I did not go back to that groomer again, because it was not somebody who wanted to work with me and be, you know, like a friend, I guess. And that might sound a bit silly, but when you've got dogs that are getting groomed every 6 weeks, you really start to get to know your clients and become friendly with them. And, you know, I've got some clients that I book in as like kind of the last job before a lunch break or whatever, and we just kind of stand around and have a good old chat for ages after, or a coffee or whatever, you know. So for me to have somebody who made me feel so uncomfortable and like such a bad person and all that sort of thing, that's had a big impact on how I treat my clients. I couldn't imagine having people walking out of here feeling that way, because I didn't get that dog groomed again. And to be 100% honest, I ended up rehoming him to a much older lady who had seen me walking him. She absolutely loved him. She was so in love with him. Her husband had passed away. She was on her own, just her. And, you know, I just, at that time I had young kids and I was really busy myself, and we weren't looking to get a dog. We kind of only just got him because he was there and I was sort of worried about what would happen to him. So, you know, I said to her one day when I was walking him, she's, you know, she's basically running up the street to see him and give him a cuddle and everything. And I said, oh, how would you like to own him? And she was over the moon about it, you know. And I said to her that he needs grooming and all this sort of stuff and what he needs. And she was more than happy to do that. She was in a financial position to do that. And, you know, they just kind of loved each other. So we did that and took him to her house, and she was all set up for him and everything. You know, it just worked out that way. But I just couldn't imagine going back again to somebody who made me feel really crappy. So I do give people the benefit of the doubt the first time. You can look at tangles here. I definitely give people the benefit of the doubt the first time, but I won't the second time. But I do, no matter what the situation, I want everybody to be happy and comfortable and able to work with each other and feel like they've got a friend in me, you know. So that's something that's super important to me in my own business, because I know that feeling and it's pretty damn awful, and probably plenty of you have had it before. Oh, so he's got these knots around his collar area, which is where the collar sits, and it causes friction and you get these tangles, which is why with dogs like this you generally wouldn't keep a collar on them at home. You would only put it on when you're going out. But I live with 4 whole children who are a little bit risky when it comes to opening doors, especially the little ones. And young Mr. here has made a run for it a couple of times. So we've done things to protect him. We've put in baby gates in front of the doorways. So there's like an extra little stop that he can't get through. But we do keep his collar on, because if he does make a run for it, we want our phone number and information to be readily available. All right, I know. Okay, so that's that first little tangle done. So just see those little floofy balls that sort of build up. So I've just used my scissors to go underneath and break it up. I am sniffling, I'm sorry. When I had a break before, it was just to mainly blow my nose and get a quick drink. But we're getting there. And it is evening. I did sleep for most of the day again. But Dale is cooking dinner as we speak, so he'll be out soon to tell me dinner's ready. There we go. How's that? It's a bit better, mister. So this is not an overly useful video on how to groom a toy poodle, because I'm still learning myself, and I kind of just work my way around in bits and pieces until I'm happy with the shape that I've achieved, which I'm not happy with this here. I have saved his face for last on purpose. I have not done his feet yet, all those paw pads and nail trim. But now that he is getting nice and sleepy, it is the ideal time to trim his face. He is falling asleep in my hands. And how funny that we saved that little tooth that fell out. I've never seen a doggy's tooth come out. I've seen them wobbly. Okay, so as I said earlier, I'm really not going to do a whole lot with his face. Bear in mind that he is really still a puppy, and all of this grooming is, one, just to maintain a clean and hygienic kind of look for him, and 2 is to sort of teach him how to be groomed. So I did this head shape really quickly a couple of weeks ago because he just couldn't see anymore. We hadn't actually trimmed his head at all. I'd left it completely natural, and it was so long. He was not able to see. You could tell he was having trouble. So I decided I was going to grow it out and do like, you know, tie it all up in those really cute long lengths and do braids, but he just couldn't see. It was too much. And I sort of felt bad. So I just came out real quick one night and just kind of trimmed it all back. Did not get a very good shape because it was something he was not prepared for and certainly not used to having done. He was very wriggly. He hadn't had time to settle into being groomed. I didn't even wash him. I just straight out went and trimmed his head. So all I'm doing now is just going to tidy that shape up a little bit. I do still want it to be quite long and tall, and I'm just blending it down into the back of his neck where I didn't cut with the clippers here. I left that area so that I could blend this top knot into that neck area. So basically we just don't want to put any holes in it. Because we're doing this teddy bear face, what I want here is for all of this to grow out this way so that we can get that big round face, but I want this length here and here to be blended in with this top knot. So he can't see, so we do obviously need to trim up around his eyes, but not take anything else off because we really want to grow this whole beard into this big kind of donut. So what I'm going to do, it doesn't help that his eyes are closed. Come here, mister. I will try and get him comfortable first. Good boy. I'm going to come in this way and clear out in front of his eyes. Come on. Pull this forwards and clear out around the eyes a bit more. No, come on. So you'll start to see him fuss quite a bit more than usual because he's not used to having the scissors around his eyes like this, because I did initially really let him grow out all of that hair. I would prefer he had his eyes open so I could see that shape a little bit better. Come on, muffins. Hey, hi, hello. And then I'm gonna brush up here. Come in with my curves, and the only thing I want to take out is just above here. And just into the corner of the eye, so kind of almost a straight line. We're not trying to take anything else off. No, sir, come on. Okay, Jude, you've got to open up so I can see what we're working with here. And I'm going to use my little clippers just to make a bit more space in the corner of these eyes. And cut away where those little tear stains were. And try to just open up his eyes. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to trim his face, we're just trying to open up his little eyes. So I'm going to brush this forward and take a bit more off here. And push that sort of top knot back a little bit between the eyes. And then trim up around. Come on. Come on. So it's very delicate work. We don't want to catch his eyelids or anything like that. Okay, open up, let me see. So we've still just got too much in these corners of his eyes. So very carefully. Come on. Yes, yes, yes. You go calm down. Let me get in there. Come on. I know, Peanuts. You can go to sleep very soon. Okay? Good boy. And you do have to be patient with this. Wait for him to settle. You can't rush. Jude, open your eyes for me, buddy. I can't see. You want to go inside and see Daddy in a minute? Hmm? You go see Dad soon? Jude. Come on. Up. Open your eyes up for me. You are making it tricky for me. All right, mister. Up. Let's have a look at you. Hi. Can you see a bit better? You certainly have a very floofy little face. Hi. Hello. I'm not quite getting enough off those eyes, but I think that's where we'll probably leave it. Hey, 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 hey. No, is that any way to treat your mama? With them teethies? No, sir, it's not. Shh, shh. So we're just going to shape this a tiny bit, not too much. Just to round it a little bit. And just flatten that off a little tiny bit. Try and get this a bit rounder. There we go. And that is all clean now. I don't know about this. Let me have a look. No, no, no karate chops, thank you. Nope. No, no, no. Hey, feisty boy, stop that. Stop that. Good boy. That's it. That's it. So I just want to tidy up his chest there a tiny, tiny bit. Up. Up, up, up. And I'm going to come in down his neck a tiny bit here. And here. And stand up these floofs here a little bit more. So now you can see we've got that sort of top knot is blended into the neck, so it's not just a ball on the top of his head. He doesn't have a lollipop. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect on a puppy. And then of course you've got my lack of experience. These are techniques that I'm only just learning myself, but that is perfect for him. We'll shave out his paw pads real quick. Let me do your paw pads. Is this one done already? That one's already done. Mister. Get your face out of it. No. Thank you. Stop that. So he is at the end of his tether with grooming. He's ready to have a nap now. Probably go to the toilet and get a drink and dinner. So it's a good time to finish up. I will no doubt look at him over and over and find bits and pieces I don't like and go back and fix them up tomorrow. But the general gist is done. So the tips here are to wash and dry and brush your dog's coat before you do any kind of grooming. You need to have a very clean, brushed, dry coat. Be careful of all the little flips and flaps that they have. Oh, mister, what did that do? Stop wriggling. You're very wriggly. I thought that caught on his skin, but it did not. Thank goodness. Come on. You have to let me trim up your privates so that you don't get wee-wees in there. I do like to keep this area quite tidy because here's a boy, he's grubby. Stop. Stop. He does sprinkle when he tinkles. And the hair, when it's got urine in it, gets very knotted. So I like to just get all of this hair out of here. Much to my husband's disgust. And I like a clean little booty for the same reasons. You don't want all that poop getting stuck in all these little butt fluffs. And as you can see, Jude is quite used to having that trimmed, so that is one thing that I do every time that I give him a wash, pretty much every week. That gets properly trimmed. No. Stop. No, it's not playtime. Stop, stop, stop. Stop. Stop, Jude. Hey. Hey, the faster we finish, the faster you get to go inside. Okay? The more you argue, the longer it takes. Yes. I'm just trimming off the extra hair that's growing at the back of these little bits. You can't see, I'm sorry. I'm just going to get it done though. Gotta clean that up beautifully. Alright, so, I mean, this is a puppy coat still. It's not an adult coat, so it doesn't sit beautifully to start with. It does sit really quite nice for a puppy coat. And he is a puppy, so he does not sit perfectly for grooming. But in general, he is nice and cute in his little teddy bear groom. And I'm quite happy with that. Nails, and then you're done. I lie because I am going to spray you with some perfume because I miss you smelling good. And the kids say you stink. Boop. No, no. No. So these also have not been trimmed for a couple of weeks, so they are on the longer side. So I'm going to push them back quite a bit. I always struggle getting these little dew claws out of the hair. Come on, get in there. There we go. I suppose we should have a look at his ears real quick too. I don't necessarily do a lot of plucking on Jude. Only a little bit. Just more so that he's used to it, not really that he needs it. But he's not like swimming or anything like that, so his ears are never wet. Unless he jumps in the shower with one of the kids, which has happened. There we go. And one of these back legs is not done. No. No. I am not overly fond of ear plucking. I don't do it very often. Oh, these are long, mister. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? Oh, sorry, the chair took out the little camera there. Alright, get rid of some of these tools and hair. Master Jude is not tethered, so we do want to make sure he doesn't jump off the table. He's not one for jumping off of anything, not even the couch or the bed. So generally not too concerned about him jumping off a giant table. Come here. Let's have a look in your ears. Okay. So I just use ear powder. Put a little bit on my table here. Smoosh it on my fingers. I know some people like fill the ear up with ear powder. I'm not about doing that. And not trying to be, you know, ripping out every hair in his ear. Just some of those fluffy ones that are going to come away easily. Shoe bug. A bug just landed on me. So just going to... So you can see that that is painful, you guys. Which is why I don't do a huge amount on any dog. You're okay. And you don't want to grab handfuls and rip out massive chunks. You just want to get little bits at a time. And if you do it regularly enough, there's not a big build-up of hair in there anyway. But that'll do for that side. And you can see he's protesting. He's not enjoying this part, which is why I generally don't pluck ears on very many dogs. I do get lots of comments asking about it, and I just kind of think it's pretty mean, to be honest. The only reason I'm doing this is because he does have a little build up So I'm going to take a little bit off. Only a little bit, and I do generally do just a little bit every time I groom him. You can see he still has quite hairy ears. Yes, you do. But you're done. Yeah, you'll do for another week. So next week he will have a bath again, and I will just tidy up anything that is kind of standing out as pretty terrible. Then that is the general gist of my regular grooming for Jude. I don't do anything much. And he's... What are you doing? Hey! You're sneezing. Did you get some spray in your snoofer, huh? Bless you. Bless you. It's pretty cute. Can definitely refine this head shape a bit more, but it's cute. I'm happy with that. All right, sir. And of course I've not done much with his actual face because I'm growing it out into that cute little teddy style. Sit. Sit. High five. Oh, such a sweet boy. Say bye, everybody. Bye. Oh, he's a cute little muffin. Yes, you are. Say bye.